Welcome back to my channel. I'm sipping with Sonia. I am Sonia Renee, and I am sipping on my water, as always. If this is your first time here with us, welcome. And if you have been here before, thank you for coming back. Hey, y'all. Today, I'm going to be talking about recognizing and embracing your intuitive gifts. You know, I'm talking so much about embracing your intuitive gifts because they are so important and really sometimes can be crucial to your life. I'm a seer, empath, clairaudient, clairsentient, and an earth angel healer. And after learning about these gifts and that I've had for years, using them and didn't know, how to use them and what came out, and nobody showed me how to hone in and develop them. So I learned on my own how to do those things, and I want to be able to share some tips with you guys so that you can learn how to hone in on those intuitive gifts also. Because also it can help you make some great decisions in your life. If you're at a crossroads or an empath, it could also keep you safe from danger. It could also let you know through visions, things that's going to come to pass so you can prepare for those things. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Instantly sense hidden motives. Can you instantly sense hidden motives? Because a lot of times we don't see a person's hidden motive until we've already been involved past the point of the honeymoon phase. And then we start to really see what they're all about. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay. And you can often pick up on people's true intentions, even when they act kind or put on a front. You can tell when something feels off, even if you can't explain it right away. You got to trust your intuition on this. Now, I'm an empath, a seer, I'm clairaudient, clairsentient, I'm an earth angel healer. And one thing about being an empath, I pick up on energies very easily. And sometimes when I pick up on these energies, it's like, okay, something's not right here. So I really start to pay attention with my third eye and pay attention with my intuition and say, okay, what's not right here? And God, show me what it is. Something's not right. Show me what it is. Expose it, right? So for example, you can meet somebody new, right? Now, everything is beautiful in the beginning. It's peaches and cream. It's honey and everything. Everything is smooth. Everything is going well. And you're liking it. And they're liking you. And while you're being charmed. But something in your gut lets you know that you need to be cautious, right? You need to be cautious. Trust that gut instinct, okay? You feel truth in your gut or spirit, okay? Trust that instinct. You have the strong inner yes or no. You do have it when facing decisions, situations, or people. Sometimes when we feel these things, we still, want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Well, maybe I might be, overthinking it. Let me just give them a chance. No, when you trust that gut instinct, exit stage left, okay? The next thing is you see beneath the surface. Some people don't see beneath the surface. Everything is always surface. Everything is on top. But people who really pay attention to their intuition see below the surface, especially as empaths. Y'all like Auntie's shirt? I'm looking real cute today. Don't y'all think I'm looking cute today with my colors? I love this. I love these colors for me. Okay, I digress. You're naturally drawn to understanding what's really going on. What's the real issue here? What's the root of the situation of what's really going on here, right? Behind the behaviors of the person, the conversations or the situations. And you often notice what others miss. The body language, the tones and the shifts, the patterns, the micro expressions, the inconsistencies. And inconsistent people will produce inconsistent results. Always remember that. You don't just listen to the words. You read the energy. Read the room. Read the room. I always tell my kids, read the room. Anytime you walk in a room, read the room. And trust your gut, because they will let you know if you should stay or if you should leave. I can remember a time that years ago when I first moved to Atlanta, a young lady that I met, she was one of my clients out because I'm a hairstylist. She was one of my clients. And so we became friends, and she wanted us to go out. And so we went out to, supposed to be some new place, supposed to be an upscale place, right? We go in, as soon as we walked in, I turned around and walked back out. It was not my vibe. It was not my scene. Okay. No, 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 no. It was not. It was false advertisement to get people there. And then once I got there, she felt so bad. She paid me back my $20 for cover charge for getting in. That's how bad she felt about us going. So like I said, trust your intuition. When something doesn't feel right, something feels off, exit stage left. Turn around and get out that door. The next thing is you detect manipulation or spiritual deception. You're able to recognize when someone is using guilt, flattery, or false kindness to influence others. Okay? And spiritually, you may be sensitive to false teachings. I had to pause because y'all know what I'm talking about, right? When y'all be up in them four walls, praising hands, pay attention to the false teachings. Okay. Disingenuous leaders or emotionally charged environments that don't align with truth. And how many times have we seen that in church? No shade. I mean, because hey, I was a minister for years, but and the higher you go, the more you see. And you see things, you see it started to become more from sharing the word and educating people on the word so that they can live their life according to Christ, to hype and propaganda. They're not following the Holy Spirit. The word of what they're teaching is being taught out of context, and you get people all excited and hype, and they're tickling their tummy, but nobody's leaving changed. Pay attention. Is that a place that you should stay, or should you find another place to go to fellowship and worship? You feel drained. The next thing is you feel drained around inauthentic people. Now, this is a biggie for me because I can instantly tell when somebody's being fake or they're in silent competition, which silent competition isn't really silent if it's right in your face. But I can tell when somebody is trying to like find a way to take attention off of me to them. Because one thing about me, when I walk in the room, I'm going to own it. How many of you out there, let me know in the chat. When you walk in the room, you own it. You command the presence. I shift the energy when I walk in the room. And it's so funny because when I was younger, I never paid attention to it. My godmother was the one who had to tell me, like, wait a minute, don't you even notice what happens when you walk in the room? You light the whole room up. The whole energy shifts. And I said, is that why some people don't be giving me ugly eyes when I walk in the room? She said, yeah, that's sometimes too. I was like, oh my gosh, I never paid attention to that. I didn't even know, right? And so when I would be around deceptive and emotionally ungrounded people, that will often leave me mentally and spiritually exhausted. You know, this sensitivity is part discernment, and it's your inner system warning you of a misalignment. Okay. Your discomfort is not weakness, it's data. Okay. You don't want to be misinformed. You don't want to be misaligned. You want to be on the right path. And you also got to protect yourself, your energy, and your heart, right? From disingenuous people and situations. So be careful about, you know, if you feel drained around inauthentic people, pay attention to those signs. If you're not feeling, if it's not leaving you in a happy place, that's not a space you want to be in. Lastly is you're often the one others turn to for clarity. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times growing up, my friends will always come to me for clarity, for, you know, advice. You know, my ex-husband used to always say, oh, you should have been a counselor. You should have been a therapist. Well, excuse me, I didn't know then, but I know now. Excuse me, y'all. I didn't know then, but I know now, you know, over the past, you know, years, at least past 10 years, that, you know, I was an earth angel healer and an empath, and people were coming to me to get healed. And my words was how they were healing, because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm from Philly. I'm a Philly chick. I don't know how to lie. I don't know how to be fake. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the truth, even if you don't like it, okay? Even if it hurts, because I'd rather give you the ugly truth than to give you a beautiful lie, okay? So I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you the truth immediately, because I want you, because see, when somebody lies to you, to take away your power of decision, but when somebody tells you the truth, then you can make a conscious decision or an executive decision to do what's necessary for you in your life. So I hope that makes sense to you, okay? And so here's your bonus. If your discernment is spiritual in nature, you also may be have sensed spiritual energy in people or places And you can sense when spiritual energies are at work. You know, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against wickedness and darkness and rulers of this world. So we wrestle against sometimes energies that we can't see. And they move through people. So we, again, have to pay attention to those signs, right? We also feel guided by something higher. You know, your intuition, the Holy Spirit, an inner knowing. Trust that, okay? Trust it. And also we experience dreams, visions, or impressions that later come to pass. Again, like I said earlier in the video, I'm a seer. Some of you may be a seer. If you're a seer, tap into those gifts. Because when you're having visions about things, and write them down, journal it down, and then you can go back to, after you confer with the Holy Spirit, like, what does this mean? What is this about? You can go back and look what you wrote down, and you can say, okay, God, what does this mean? What's the message behind this? Because I can tell you, if being a seer, I've seen things come to pass. It helped me get the best. I talked about in a previous video. I had a dream just like that, dropped into a deep sleep, which helped me be able to get the best offer when I was selling my rental property. Also, I had a dream when I knew my daughter was pregnant before she told me, with my grandson, months before she told me. You know, I was able to identify a monitoring spirit of someone who I thought was my friend, but she really was a monitoring spirit, and she was bad-mouthing me to other people. So trust those intuition, trust those gifts. You know, learn how to use your gifts to, like I said, to identify and avoid red flags. Use your gifts to do so, okay? If you like this video, please do the things, like and subscribe, and please share. Please, thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Auntie, love you. Bye.